Welcome back, Chameleons, to my travel with Aspie vlogs with FireTheLier and I. Hopefully you're enjoying these. As I said before, while FireTheLier and I are traveling, I'm going to just give you guys a bit of history along with some fun and games and adventure, or some mischief, if you will, if you want to call it this. As you're briefly aware, based on what I've shared so far, some of this or most of this part of the series for the South Island trip is all about the history, because obviously the South Island is known for its nature and its history, as well as some of the tourism spots that you may have seen briefly in my past videos with FireTheLier of the trip to the South Island. Hopefully you're enjoying these, as said. So the next one along to the stopover is Millerton. Millerton is a small settlement in the northwestern South Island of New Zealand in the West Coast region. It's in the Papahua Ranges, around 25 kilometres northeast of Westport on State Highway 67 from Westport to Karamea. The history of Millerton bears some resemblance similarly to that of Denniston, being a town that lived from and for the coal that was mined in the ranges. As Denniston, Millerton is now almost without any population of anyone living there whatsoever. That is sometimes classified as a known term, the word ghost town. So obviously, as I said, it was known for mining, despite its elevation of 300 metres being considerably lower than that of Denniston of the 494 metres. The grade between the coastline and Millerton still meant that the coal was difficult to get down to the railways. The Westport Coal Company built the Millerton Incline in the year of 1891, and the Millerton Mine began the production in 1896. Mining at Millerton ended in the late 1960s, similar again to the Denniston's. The Millerton Incline was a narrow gauge 2 feet incline consisting of 2 parallel tracks on which the coal tubs ran, being hauled by rope. Remnants of trucks, bathhouse and other installations are still visible that are seen today. The Millerton Incline was in its day quite a feat of engineering, and the remains of this incline and its infrastructure are more accessible than those of the more famous Denniston Incline. The Millerton Incline was used to convey tubs of coal from the mines around the Millerton area to the bins at Granity, which in their days were the largest coal loading bins of wooden construction in New Zealand. The bins are now long gone, however, but the incline remains, and it is well worth a look. The honour of William McIntyre from Millerton was a member of the Legislative Council from the years of 1921 until he died in the year of 1949, and was known as the father of the Aspie. A miner from Scotland, he with his brother set a record for the coal mined in one shift at the Millerton Mine. With the Denniston and the smaller Millerton mining operations that having stopped, the nearby Stockton coalfield is continuing the tradition of the West Coast coal. However, plans are afoot by Solid Energy New Zealand to extend the life of the Stockton mining area by opening up the old Millerton mine working, albeit as an open cast pit. It's also proposed to build a hydro scheme up the Stockton plateau, mostly in the former mining areas. The Millerton Incline will not be torn apart. However, the electric loco line, as well as the Stockton incline, the incline that ran to Ngakawa, will each suffer severe degradation as a result of the flooding of certain areas to create the hydro lakes for the new power scheme. The community, in terms of the community, however, in its heyday, Millerton had its own lodge of the Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffaloes, this being the Lookout Lodge number 127 of the RAOB NZ Constitution of the Grand Lodge of England. The lodge was opened in the year of 1950. Supporting in terms of membership of the lodge was strong enough that eventually the Lookout Lodge acquired its own lodge hall in Millerton, which was the old Red Chabot's Lodge Hall, according to some old times recollections of the area in those days. The Lookout Lodge RAOB outlived the Millerton Incline by about 20 years and closed sometime in the mid-1980s. A letter of the correspondence between the Lookout Lodge and Mount Rockfoot Lodge advising the date of a lodge ceremony is dated May 1981, as being cited by this historian. The Millerton Football Soccer Club was known as the Millerton All Blacks at the time. They were twice runner-up in the Chatham Cup, New Zealand's knockout football competition, in the years of 1932 and 1933. Tourism. There are a few tourists that seem to venture further up to the west coast, north of Westport, and with the narrow, steep and winding road, even fewer of them visit Denniston and the smaller Millerton site. Nevertheless, the local community offers maps which shows the various objects that are still visible to be seen. The road to Millerton, however, has spectacular views across the coast and the rainforest. Some short walkways connect the roads with the historic and scenic places, which again, obviously, right now I'll be showing you a quick walkthrough of Millerton based on this, and it's abandoned beer mine, and hopefully you'll enjoy this, and hopefully I shall return to you guys with some more videos of our trip down south, so stay tuned. Well, this wraps up the Travel with Aspie part of the Millerton Incline mining area of the west coast of the South Island. Hopefully you enjoyed a bit of the information as well as the scenic route, or shall we say the scenic view of it from the outside. Just as a heads up before I go though, just to apologise to you all, I was hoping FireTheLier and I could have got inside the actual area in itself, but certain areas in the South Island on the west coast deems unsafe, so you need to basically tread with caution in a sense, so that you need a tour guide to take you through properly the routes of what's the common routes and popular, scenic route, if you will, as well as just the scenery in itself of what it looks like inside and out, especially in the west coast part that I was so looking forward to, because as you've noticed in my videos that there are many mining areas in the west coast, because as I said before, it is known for the mining of the coal mining, especially in those areas that I shared. So hopefully you've enjoyed listening to my voice and had a little bit of a enjoyment of just seeing the outer piece of the Millerton Incline, which I again humbly apologise. But if you are willing to travel down south of the South Island, I recommend some of the places right now, and some of the places also I'll hopefully leave a description where you can find it or be in contact with the ones that are available to show you these tours and what have you. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Once again, thanks for listening and watching to my voice, and until next time with FireTheLier and I continuation of this Travelling with Aspie vlogs, I'll see you again next time. Ciao for now.